Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathleen. For the new members, kindly hit the subscription button and touch the notification bell so that the next time I go online, you can be able to get an alert. For my continued supporters and viewers, I highly appreciate your feedback and support and your suggestions. Kindly remember to share this video and give it a thumbs up. So in today's episode, we are going to look at how does the society perceive male violent actors and female violent actors. Close reference given to a police officer who for the last 3 to 4 days has been in the limelight, a woman police cop who has been allegedly killed 2 people and he's harmed and is on a mission to kill more. According to the police reports, this lady is a very good trained police officer, a first-class sharpshooter, and is already armed, that is walking with a gun right now. The police have not been able to find him. So there's a public call that whoever comes across her or whoever spots her should be able to report to the nearest police station. While this is in progress, today in the morning as I woke up, I came across the following headline in one of the social media news outlets, that is Chalango TV. The headline reads, "She is so beautiful, don't kill her. Tycoon pleads with DCI to allow the killer cop to surrender." My question comes in, at what point do we start bringing in somebody's physical look in relation to the crime or to the violent act that they have committed? Why is it so easy that when a woman has committed a crime or when it is a suspected woman violent actor, we tend to go deep to look at their physical looks? We go to look at their marital status. We bring in the aspect of motherhood. Why is this not the case when, for example, it is a male violent actor? I'm trying to ask myself, if the lady in question was a man, could the headline read, for example, "He is so handsome, don't kill him. Tycoon pleads with DCI to allow the killer cop to surrender"? Could this man, or could a man violent actor be given the same beauty or the same physical look approach when looking at the violent act that has been perpetrated? In this case, I'm not saying that the woman police officer in question should be killed, but the aspect is here, or the key question here is, how do we perceive violent male actors and how do we receive violent female actors? At what point do we bring in aspects of motherhood, aspects of beauty, aspects of widowhood when we are dealing with violent actors? I tried to read through the comments that people had pinned down on that particular post, and some was saying like, "Aki, she is so beautiful." So my question is, when somebody is beautiful, how does that make them innocent? Or how does that make them less violent? Or how does that make them vulnerable or to be hurt than the innocent individuals that have been killed? I read another one where somebody was saying that there are even more beautiful women than her in prison. Beauty and life are 2 different things. I've tended to agree with these particular individuals. At what point do we start looking at a woman from her physical look and start saying, "Oh, you know, she's beautiful, she's a matter, let's not arrest her, let's listen to her side of the story"? One of the comments that has actually I don't know whether the owner deleted it or not, was saying that she's a mother, probably her children are looking for her, she's somewhere regretting what she has done, she's feeling very disappointed, she's feeling very vulnerable that she cannot surrender, that the DCI should think about how to get her side of the story. And I was asking myself, this lady has killed 2 individuals and these are family men. So in also these families, we have parents who are declining the loss of their sons. We have children who are declining the loss of their fathers. We have women who are declining the loss of their husbands. Why is it that we do not want to listen to this other side of the story? Or why is it that we do not want the law to take its course naturally than start looking at aspects attached to this lady that we want to manipulate and bring out an aspect of a woman perhaps who is innocent, who was pushed by circumstances to do what she did, and so forth. I raised this issue because each time we talk about violence, any form of violence, normally the woman violent perpetrator or the woman violent actor kind of receives an immune, like there's something cautioning a woman violent actor in the society, simply because our gender norms of war and violence don't regard women to be potential violent actor. Each time we see women as vulnerable individuals, as much as you cannot harm. But reality and history, we have to learn from it. When we look at, for example, in September 2016, the women who marched to Mombasa police station, Central Police Station, and attacked police officers, those were not men. Those were women who masqueraded, all paraded in their women attire and their womanhood, their motherhood, and went to report a crime very vulnerable, only to turn against the police officers and bomb the police station. In 2019, when we are talking about the late Salmu Gechunge, who was among the suspected terror attackers in the Dusit D2 attack, Violent Kemunto was mentioned there. She was even selling things online before the attack took place, and she was proudly recognizing herself as an Al-Shabaab bride. But where did the focus go? To the male terrorist, and we forgot about her. In the case of even women who have been seen crossing over the borders to join ISIS or Al-Shabaab, once we get them, the question is always what prompted them to join. They are very vulnerable. They are joining their husbands. They are joining their wives, their lovers. The question is, at what point do we differentiate a woman in a violent act because of a husband or because of a male friend, and a woman in a violent act because she subscribes to that ideology? What relationship comes first? Is it the marital relationship, or it is the gang membership relationship? So we really need to be very careful in how we deal with violent actors in the society. And when it comes to security, nothing should be left unturned. No stone should be left unturned, because the humanitarian aspects we give to other gender and don't give it to the other gender is what violent actors use and take advantage of when perpetrating their violent acts. Everybody knows, for example, pregnant women are very vulnerable, so they need care. So this vulnerability and the respect that is accorded to the pregnant women in society has in one way or another been manipulated to perpetrate violence in this country and outside this country. That was the case in 2016 in Nyeri, where a pregnant woman was found with 3 pistols in a matatu. And nobody could suspect her. Why? She's pregnant. In any case, if she comes in a matatu, everybody's supposed to move. In fact, she's supposed to be given the front seat because it is a bit comfortable. Many times we tend to associate women violent actors with the violent men. So we say she did this because of the husband. She was pushed. Everybody is saying that we need to listen to the other side of the story of this lady. I do not deny that. But does listening to her side take away the violent act that she has committed? Does listening to her side of the story take away the fact that she has killed 2 people? 2 families are grieving. Children have lost their fathers. Some parents there somewhere are grieving the loss of their sons. Some 2 widows have been left. I also heard somebody said maybe she has been sexually assaulted and now she is revenging. My question is, how does one wrong solve another wrong? How can you use a wrong to solve a wrong? Don't we have channels that can be used to solve such issues if somebody has been, for example, sexually assaulted? So I just feel like it is high time that we focused on the violent act that an individual perpetrated than on how the individuals have been brought up and on how these individuals are vulnerable. Today, even the handicapped can be in violent groups or can cause violence. Today, even young children can be involved in violence and actually unleash that violence to the maximum. Why? Everybody will see them. She is an underage. He is an underage. So he or she cannot face the law. So basically what I'm saying is, even when we want to cling into the old gender stereotypes that depicted one gender as vulnerable, intrinsically peaceful, and victims of violence, we need to understand that throughout history, we have had women who have participated in war. We have had women violent actors. We have had women who have killed. We have had women who are very strong in war fronts than even men. We have had women who even organized revolutions. When the Giriama resistance began, Mekatilili Wameza was an old widow of 70 years, but she was able to push that revolution forward and eventually was able to paralyze the British activities among the Giriama. That tells you something. She was a woman, very old, and even a widow. In fact, she was the true definition of a vulnerable woman, but who exploited that vulnerability to challenge the political establishment of rule and dictatorship by the British among the Giriama people. Even when you're talking about Kenya's independence itself, look at the Mau Mau revolution. Mau Mau had women fighters. A good example is Field Marshal Muthoni. She rose up to the rank of a field marshal. It tells you something. Women have the ability, and this ability can be used both for negative and positive. And in the world where violence is evolving, the violent groups are changing tactics now and then. The woman of today is not the same woman of the 1990s. Today's woman has been empowered. The government looks up to her. Non-governmental organizations, the constitutions, and even the international world. We are talking about a very empowered but immune woman. When it comes to opportunities, we want to say, give us the opportunities. A woman can lead. What a woman can do, a man can do, a woman can do better. But when it comes to violence, we want to isolate this woman. We want to bring her out of that violence and put her at the periphery. Regard her as a vulnerable. Regard her as a coerced actor. Regard her as a victim. Why is it that if what a man can do, a woman can do better? Why is it not the same slogan in violence, even when in reality are shown as that? Events in Kenya, look at the Gaza episodes in 2016, 2017, and 2018. Look at the Gaza queen, Claire Njoki. She was very pretty. She was just a woman. But she really had a big role to play in that particular group. And when she died, the focus shifted to that she was a wife to the Gaza leader. And nobody wanted to look at her role in that group. So the same thing applies every time when we're talking about women killing men or men killing women. The same energy with which we come to the internet to condemn men killers should be the same energy with which we should come to the internet to condemn women killers. Because by the end of the day, killing is bad. And it doesn't matter who has committed it. So let it not be like when it is a man, violent actor who is involved, we are all over the internet and even we are calling justice for the departed victims. But when it is a woman, we want to start looking at that act of violence as woman violence, and this is treated as a special type of violence that must only happen when somebody has been pushed to the wall. It only happens when somebody is forced. It only happens when somebody is self-defending. Let's not be the people dividing the society that we have one gender that is violent and we have one gender that can never be violent. No. In today's society, everybody is capable of being violent. And the beauty, gender, status, all anything does not make one superior to others when it comes to violent acts. So the same energy with which we condemn men who kill women should be the same energy that we should condemn women who kill men. The same energy we condemn parents who kill children is the same energy we should condemn children who kill their parents. In that way, we can be able to win the war against violence. It will be very difficult to end violence of any form, be it terrorism, be it gangsterism, be it vigilantism, be it gender-based violence and so forth, when we only look at men as the only violent perpetrators in this society. It will be very difficult to end that any form of violence, because the same humanitarian support and the same humanitarian excuses we want to bring up when it is a woman who is involved is the same humanitarian aspects that will be exploited by violent actors of all levels to unleash violence and perpetuate violence to the public and the society at large. And therefore, brothers and sisters, even when we call for justice, the bottom line should be like, killing is killing, violence is violence, and it doesn't matter who was perpetrated is. Instead of focusing on the gender, on the vulnerability, on the beauty of a person, on the handsomeness of a person, let's focus on the violent act perpetrated and go further to dig and see what happened and what never happened. Let's not start by chatting somebody that, you know, she's a mother, you know, she's very vulnerable, you know, no. That one, leave it out. We have passed a society where women were seen as weaklings. We are in a society where both men and women are almost here. And therefore, when it comes to aspects of security and violence, such gaps can be very detrimental, not only in today's society, but also for the generations to come. Even as we sympathize with violent actors, the question is the focus of sympathy on the violent act they perpetrated, or simply because we believe that they are victims or coerced actors of violence? Thank you so much.